Oh, top of the morning to you. Morning coffee. These days, I make cold brew, leave it in the fridge, and I dump a couple espresso shots in there from my machine I brought from the States. Continuing to learn about coffee, the cultivation, the roasting, the enjoying, and I have about 20 plants planted on my farm so far. Exciting. Can't wait to produce coffee. Okay, for this video, I put out a poll. I put out many different poll questions on Instagram about the Orange Monster Man Trump, about veganism, about if you're happy with your life, if you've done psychedelics, a bunch of questions, and I'm gonna comment, and it was like 24 hours ago, and I'm gonna respond to the yes versus no percentages that I got. It's gonna be fun. First one I asked, are you a fan of the Orange Man, Donald Trump? 90, and for each one of them, I got about 300 or 400 responses, so it's a lot of people. 91% of my followers are not a fan of the Orange Man, 9% are, but one guy messaged me and said, oh, I meant to hit no, but it went to yes, so let's say 8%. Let's give him even one less vote. All right, 8% of my followers are deluded, ignorant, maybe racist or white supremacists who think that Donald Trump's a good person. And if that offends you and you're a Trump supporter, I give no fucks anymore. If you think that guy's smart, good for the country, genuine, you live on a different planet. There's no more justification. But that's cool. 91% of you are rational, good-hearted people. Maggie, come here, don't eat no coconut husks. So that's awesome. Damn, yeah, Trump's wild, huh? Just a few more days till he's out of office. Next, I said, are you vegan? 67% of people who responded are vegan, 33% are not, and I'm really happy about that. I think I would be a tiny bit disheartened if it was like 95% were vegan, because then I'd be like, oh, I'm always just preaching to the choir. It's pretty cool that 33% are not vegan but watch my videos so you can learn about it and see if it's right for you. You know, I was vegetarian for 5 years before going vegan, and I thought vegans were crazy. I didn't understand the concept of speciesism or animal rights, or that, you know, essentially every time you eat an animal product that you don't hunt or produce yourself, you're paying someone to exploit an animal who's like a really sweet, kind being with an emotional capacity to love their friends and like certain things. You know, I've lived on a lot of farms with cows, pigs, chickens, turkeys, bunnies, and they all have personalities and interests and preferences, and every time you eat an animal, you're paying for someone to exploit an animal for its body. And that's fucked up, in my opinion. It makes me sad. That's why I'm vegan, so I don't ever pay for that. And all the best science we have says that a mainly plant-based diet is healthiest to prevent heart disease, cancer, Alzheimer's, osteoporosis, diabetes, obesity. It goes on and on and on. And if you don't believe me, go to the American Dietetics Association website, Harvard School of Public Health, American Heart Association. They'll all tell you to eat a plant-based diet, or watch the movies What the Health, or Game Changers, or Cowspiracy, or Forks Over Knives. A lot of resources out there. Why veganism makes sense. Are you vegetarian but not vegan? 23% said yes, 77 no. So I got some vegetarians converting vegetarians. It's the revolution, yeah. Vegetarianism is funny. I was vegetarian for 5 years, so I can't hate, and I know it's a great stepping stone towards a vegan diet. But I'll also say Vegetarianism is so annoying, isn't it? Because we know that eggs and dairy in an industrial way, the way they produce it, is even more unethical, and there's more cruelty involved than even in the meat industry, because these egg-laying hens and dairy cows, they're locked into this system of confinement and oppression year after year, being exploited for their bodily resources. Whereas in the meat industry, usually these animals are killed as young children, 1, 2 years old, they're killed, versus a dairy cow can be impregnated and then milked and confined for a decade. And hens are probably treated the worst, where they're all compact, confined, their feet start growing in the metal grates. So it's like vegetarians are trying to do a little better and not eat dead animals, but they're actually buying more dairy and eggs, which is the worst thing for cows and chickens. Also, eggs and dairy are like super unhealthy if you believe in the research and science I've seen. Also go to PCRM, Physicians Committee for Responsible Medicine, a lot of good information on dairy and eggs. So it's like vegetarianism is kind of whack. It doesn't really make sense. For all the reason you'd want to be vegetarian, you want to be healthier, you want to be less harmful to animals, you should really just be vegan. But it's a stepping stone. So I don't think anyone should end at vegetarian. It doesn't really make sense. You're still eating animal products. You're still exploiting animals. You're still taking in dietary cholesterol and animal protein, which is not good for you. Just go vegan. Use it as a stepping stone. But it's cool that you're on the path to eat less meat, you know, I guess. I asked you believe in climate change. 96% yes, 4% no. So with 4%, I'm just gonna guess you're being a troll. So good, we all agree that human-caused climate change is a thing. Humans pump out fossil fuels into our atmosphere. Those fossil fuels, mainly methane and CO2, trap in heat. The sun brings down heat. The fossil fuels are in the atmosphere, the heat gets reflected off the earth and tries to leave, but it cannot, thus creating a warming effect that is melting our ice sheets, so we're losing fresh water into the oceans, and the sea level is rising, and the temperature is rising, and that's gonna fuck up a lot of ecosystems, coastal communities, poor coastal communities with sea level rise getting flooded, and species displacement and extinction. Fucked. And the best way to reduce your carbon footprint is to literally, like, it's so simple. Maggie, hey, that's not a toy. This is not a toy. Not a toy. Go get a toy. Go find me a real ball. A ball. A ball. A ball. Yeah, good girl. So a lot of people talk about like, eating vegan is the best way to reduce your carbon footprint, riding a bike, whatever. Really think about it even simpler. Maggie, leave the raccoon that lives under this porch alone. Everything you need to live and that you use has to come from somewhere. From your clothes, to your food, to your water, to your house, to your electricity. Everything you use comes from somewhere. And the more you go on the journey of sourcing the things you use to live from a local... Maggie, get your ball. Hey, you just had it. You just had it in your mouth. No, come here. Go, no, Red, no, come here. Go get your ball. You just had it. Hey, go get your ball. You just had it. Pinche pera. So the more you go on the journey of sourcing your own food from your farm or a local farm near you, maybe even you go on the journey of starting to buy local clothing. I would like to go on that journey. You find out where your water comes from. Ours comes from our land. You find out where your electricity comes from. Ours comes from hydropower. There's 100% sustainable energy in Costa Rica. We don't have any coal-fired power plants. It's literally just turbines and rivers generating electricity. So, Maggie, You are meh. So reducing your carbon footprint is just localizing your life. Figure out how to make everything local that you need to survive. Come here. Come on. Come here. Get your ball. Hey, go get your red ball. Go get your red ball.